Welcome back to Jesse's Performance, everybody. We are here to talk about some things and get some things squared away. First of all, there's been mass confusion that this car is my other car, my twin turbo car. That is not the case, all right? I did not let the old girl get all crusty and rusty and shitty. Did not happen, all right? The 79 twin turbo car is just tucked away in storage in hiatus, waiting for me to get my mind right to get that car back on the road, okay? Me and that car, we have this lifelong battle of who's kicking whose ass. And right now, I just want to take a break from that battle, focus on the business, focus on some marketing, and focus on having some fun. So what we have is this crusty ass 78 Trans Am that we were gonna build for a customer, and we found rust in every nook and cranny, and it was literally more cost effective to buy another car and start with a good body, a solid foundation. So that's what we did. I had this car sitting back here for like a year now, contemplating what to do with it. I was gonna sell it to a buddy. I was gonna build it as a drift car. I was gonna build it as a demolition derby car. I'm just kidding. But you know, yeah, I was waiting for it to find its home. And then a couple years ago, I had approached Speedmaster with the idea of building a Burnout car for their company to display their company's parts. And over the past couple years, we've kind of refined the plan, you know, narrowed down what we want to do, kind of had some cool things in the works. And so what we have here is gonna be the Speedmaster Burnout car for 2024 and 2025. So we're gonna do a 2-year run on this car to start with and see how it goes. I reached out to every company that I deal with. I've reached out to every friend I deal with. I've literally cashed in all my buddy chips and any sort of leverage I have on anybody to get this car done, because I wanna have the most badass Burnout / drift car I can build. Obviously it's a Trans Am. I'm good, I'm comfortable, I'm happy in a Trans Am. I'm super happy with that. The NAS rod has put in work. It has way overcome what it was supposed to do. I'm not retiring that car. We're just kind of transitioning into more driving stuff with that car. We're getting it more, maybe I'll do some, you know, time attack, road course, kind of driving with it. Have some more fun with it rather than just go out and beat the living shit out of it. That's what this car's for. So far we have a complete TCI front subframe Mustang 2 style setup for it, torque arm rear suspension from TCI. We got a Speedmaster Ford 9-inch modular rear end. We got a super special engine, Steve Morris / Speedmaster collaboration engine with a big 08 71, 16 fuel injectors, methanol breathe-in. Should be a ground shaker. With that kind of power comes a whole bunch of other stuff we got to come up with. I'm trying something new with the transmission. I'm going to use the 8 HP 90 Hellcat transmission. We dabbled in some of that stuff, but now I'm jumping 2 feet in. We're going to see if we can't have an auto manual car to do burnouts in. I don't do good with automatic transmissions. I kill them all the time. I just overheat them. I don't care about temperatures when I'm doing what I'm doing, and I just let them hang out there. But this Hellcat tranny is supposed to be literally the bee's knees. It's supposed to handle everything we can throw at it, plus some. And the cool thing about it is we can do clutch by wire, which means I can clutch kick this automatic transmission, and it's gonna do what a clutch does, except it's doing it inside the torque converter. I've reached out to some people for some T56 stuff. I didn't get any good responses. So basically I'm just out on my own trying to do this automatic manual deal, so I can still grab gears, but I can still also have the automatic benefits doing the burnout, which is not having to clutch in and shift. It just shifts. Everything else is pretty standard. We are doing air ride on this car just because I want to get it on and off a trailer pretty easy. I feel like we're gonna be trailering this car a lot. So dealing with these other low cars that we have been dealing with, it sucks. So we're gonna have air ride on it. Air Tech has hooked us up with a really nice system. It should be here any day now. We got the Ride Tech airbags on it. The air shockwaves, that's what they're called, shockwaves. We got those on this bad boy. I already got them working up and down with shop air. Everything's working there. John over at Second Gen Graveyard has blessed us with some really nice parts and some really good deals to get this thing going. I'll do some video stuff on that later. Stay tuned for that. Stuff's nice stuff. Restore a Muscle Car, Dave Hall over there He's gonna get us set up with a really badass custom set of 20 by 12 inch wheels, snowflakes, custom for this car. They haven't done this size and design yet. I'm excited about that because you know me, I like being the first to do something crazy. So let's go with those. I have a couple things in the works that we can do with the stereo. I reached out to a couple companies. I'm still waiting to hear back. Maybe we'll get an audio system in this thing. I have a feeling with the exhaust coming out of this hole right here, as I'm driving down the highway in this rattly old piece of shit Trans Am, that I ain't gonna be able to hear shit but my brain rattle. So we'll try it. We'll see. We'll see what it comes up with. We are gonna have XK Glow Underglow on this thing. Those guys always have no problem just saying whatever you need, we'll get it to you. Those guys are great. The product's great. The service is great. I can't be happy enough with those guys. So far, Kraken Motorsports helped us tear the car down and get all the new suspension mocked up on it. Dash Built helped me put this killer cage in this thing. Obviously, we could have done it here, but at the time, the shop was full of customer projects. He decided he'd take it on over there. We spent some days over there. You guys saw those videos. That was a lot of work. I'm doing the metal floors now, and then the interior will be done. We got Corbo seats and seat belts coming from them, Corbo USA. Those guys are super good to deal with. We're gonna be putting those products on our website. Stay tuned for that. That's gonna be awesome. I can't forget to shout out the guys over at Holley. They're a huge corporation, so I don't know how many of them actually see these videos, but they got us set up with a whole slew of parts. We got coils, injectors, ECU, dash, wiring harnesses, fuel pumps, mini tubs from Detroit Speed, which is a Holley company now. MSD is a Holley company, so we got the coils and ignition system for this thing. We got a ton of cool parts. We got a race pack smart wire street kit for this car. I mean, the list goes on and on. We have been working with some of the greatest companies in the industry. We are blessed to have them on our side and helping us push this thing uphill. I can't thank everyone enough. I don't think companies get enough gratitude for when they actually help. And last but definitely not least, the guys over at Vibrant. Those guys have been in our corner since day one. They saw something in me that maybe I didn't even see at the time with my crazy creativity that we come up with on these cars. But anytime I need anything, I hit them up, and they are more than happy to give us the deepest discounts they can. They ask very little of us. They just want to have their product on cool cars. And companies like that, and companies like the companies we deal with, are the reason that I wake up every day and I challenge myself, and I challenge Kyle, and I challenge Stacie, and we put in the work that we need to do just to prove that we are just as good as anyone else that deserves this kind of a chance. I think we got a really good plan on this car. Wheels, tires, suspension. I'm trying to get some different brakes figured out. We got some big old Willwoods on it now, which I don't mind at all, believe me. But we like our bare stuff. We like our custom colors and our, fancy monoblock calipers and all that stuff. So I'm working on trying to get some of that shit set up. That's not easy. It used to be easy. It's not easy anymore. Obviously, corporate world takes over and things happen. So that's that. Interior's gonna be squared away. I'm gonna have Sean, our good buddy over at Bearded Devil's Garage. He's gonna come over and help me do some carpet work inside on these floors. He's gonna help me do some wiring work. Maybe we'll get him to do us the sound system if everything else falls through. And then one of the final steps, but it's not going to be a final step, one of the steps we're going to do on this car is we're going to actually take it to ET Auto Plus. Our good buddy Edwin over there, he's always helped us out on spot projects that we needed help on. We're going to see if we can't have this car prepped and painted and turned around in 2 days. That's going to be probably 48 hours of hell. But it's a challenge. I want to challenge him. I want to challenge us. I want to put him on the spot. And sometimes you don't know how good you are unless you're put to the test. So I want to do it. And somewhere in between putting this car together, we have a special guest, Josh, coming by. I'm not going to indulge in that too much. If you know who Josh is, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if not, stay tuned. You'll have to see. We're gonna have a crazy two week build, actually putting this thing together, and then we're gonna get in this thing and we're gonna drive it to LS Fest in Vegas, completely untested. So that is not gonna be fun. I'm already dreading that. I don't want to do it because the old man in me is really shining through these days. When I was younger, I used to drive shit worse than this as a daily and drive it across the country. It didn't matter, but not anymore. I want to get in my nice comfy Denali, have the shit in the trailer, hit cruise control, you know, with the heated seats, and, you know, sip a Mountain Dew and just drive. But yeah, if I try and open Mountain Dew on this thing, it's just going to be shaking fizz and flat in fucking 45 seconds. But yeah, hopefully that clears some things up and gives everyone kind of a plan and a direction. We'll post some pictures of the rendering. They've been all over the internet already, but for those who haven't seen them, that have been living under a rock for the past couple months, we'll get the rendering pictures that I found up that kind of was a direct inline vision of what I had in my head. It just was on paper already, so saved me the time and effort of explaining my vision to all these companies, which has made that process a lot easier. All right, so make sure you stay tuned. There's a whole playlist of videos from this thing. Stacie's been pumping out videos, not just once a week. I think she's doing sometimes 2 and 3 videos a week. I mean, our poor phone that's been recording has just been burning through the video. So stay tuned for all that. You know, obviously your support to us is what keeps us going. So let's get the views up. Let's get the subscribalicious. Let's get the subscribers up, and do all that stuff, because that helps everyone grow. You know, we're all just trying to grow. We're all just trying to do what we do and entertain you folks, and maybe make $1 doing it. Who knows? Hell.
Okay, Jesse, so I have a few questions for you.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, hold on. Let me get a drink. I should reach out to Mountain Dew and see if they'll fucking hook us up with a case of Mountain Dew or something.
Couldn't hurt.
Let's go. Fire away.
Okay, number 1. Why do you love Trans Ams so much?
Oh boy, this is a loaded question. Okay, I don't think that I love them. I just think that we're attracted together. You know, like, what is it, I Am Legend? His old lady, and you know what I'm saying? Where, like, no matter how far away you try and get from each other, you end up in the same room together. That's me and Trans Ams. No, actually, I love them. You know, it's a huge part of my childhood. I grew up in the back of these cars. You know, we did a video about my past before. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But basically, Trans Ams are just part of my life. It's like a brother or a family member.
Jeff, Kyle, Trans Am.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, number 2. Why a blower and not a turbo?
That's a really good question. So the whole idea of the blower setup was, when we first started this Burnout project, we were going to build a little Toyota Starlet, Aussie style, which would have a big blower on it. Because Speedmaster is an Australian-based company, and I figured how cool to get some blokes on board with building a Burnout car. And so now we have this big badass blower motor in the works, and we switched to a Trans Am, and I said, you know what? Screw it. Let's give it a whirl. Let's give it a whirl.
Some blokes. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 3, what is your goals for 2024?
With this car?
With this car.
With this car? My goals are going to be, there's 2 different kinds of goals. There's personal goals and there's business goals, right? So my personal goals is I want to just show the world that right now, I know I'm not the best Burnout guy, but I want to become the best Burnout guy in America, at least in America. That's my goal for 2024, is to hold the crown for the Burnout champion for America.
Burnout king.
Yeah, I want to be that guy, and I think I have the team, and I think I have the support, and I think I have the
opportunity.
I definitely have the opportunity, and my give a fucks is not existent anymore. So that, and you know, Jason and Speedmaster is going to be buying all the engines in this car, so I'm going to let this son of a bitch hang out. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to fix the motors anymore. Shoot, we're going to send it.
What's your business goal?
My business goal is I want to use this car, and I've been saying this for a while now, but I want to collab, grow, and bring awareness to who we are as a company and who we are as individuals, just as, you know, horsepower hustlers, to show everyone, you know, Hoonigan might have kind of trickled off, but we've all are trying to fill the shoes tenfold with the crazy things we're doing.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4, what is your favorite aspect of building a car? Fabrication, wiring?
You know, typically I would say fabrication. I think fabrication is where it's at for me because it's literally something I'm doing with my hands. Now I've started machining some parts, and that is quickly coming around to be my favorite thing to do. I like machining parts just because it's more precise fabrication. I think is all it really is. But it's a lot harder, and you know, it's more than the slack of a tape measure to do some of this stuff, which I'm not used to. So it's learning new equipment, learning new procedures, new techniques, new tools, and I think that's where it's at for me.
Okay. And last, it's not really a question. Tell me your craziest burnout story.
Oh man. Well, so there's a lot of really good ones, but I'll say my first good burnout story was in a Trans Am, my other car, when I drove it in high school. It was like the end of the semester. We were all inside the auto shop cleaning, and I backed my car in to load up a couple parts in the trunk. And I don't know, there's some kids talking some shit about how cool their Hondas were and shit back in the day. And so I just smoked the fucking tires completely off of this son of a bitch. So bad to where like there was the classrooms above the auto shop, and they evacuated the building. They called the fire department. They kicked me out of school. I had to like go do computer classes and shit to make up the credits. And I had to come back and scrub the rubber off the floor. So that's my first like really good, like that's how I knew like this is for me, you know. And back then I had a Pontiac motor and it said tons of torque, and it would burn the tires for fucking until you ran out of gas or tire. So
I remember your most infamous burnout.
oh yeah, which one's that?
Your very first burnout competition in the Trans Am that we did at Weld County Garage.
That was
That video still circulates.
Yeah, we got
Millions of views.
Millions of views. And I think is that the one where Kyle's like grabbing the wheel well?
No, that was the year after. This
okay.
was the year Kyle wasn't there. Matt was there, and
oh yeah.
I think that was 2017.
It had an old LS1 and a single comp turbo on it.
Yeah.
Grabbing gears. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then the year after that, we made another
the year
video.
after that was big. That was big burnout.
Yep.
Yeah, those were fun.
Yeah, those were good.
Goes way back.
And then I won the burnout competition at LS Fest, Texas.
Yeah, in the Trans Am. See, the NAS rod's cool, but you just can't.
The problem with the NAS rod, here's where we're at, and this is where I'm at in life. Is the NAS rod, amazing car, amazing feat of fabrication and build, but the visibility in that thing makes it really, really difficult to maneuver. And up until recently, it hasn't had very good steering, so it's been really hard to drive. We got all that figured out now, but I mean that's like a $70,000 engine in that thing, and I don't want to have to rebuild it if I kick a rod. I don't want to do all that. So I've just always been comfortable in Trans Ams. I can drift them, I can do burnouts in them. I just am really, really comfortable. I'm at home in a Trans. I was probably conceived in a Trans Am, to be honest with everyone. So like, you know, like Trans Ams is where it's at, you know, and yeah.
Thank you, Jesse. Keep up all the good work.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Stay tuned.